Terpstra, absolutely supreme. The first Dutchman for 32 years since Andrew van der Poel back in 1986. Niki Terpstra getting roared on here. The crowd very familiar with the Quick-Step floors and livery. But it's a Dutchman within their number, and if he comes home, it'll be the first Dutchman for 32 years to win this race, Sean. That's an amazing time gap. He's Wout van Aert has just done a big old turn. They're closing, they've decided to engage, and they're working as a huge team time trialing unit. 20 seconds, 21. Oh my goodness, the gap's starting to close as Niki Terpstra. Is he wilting, Sean?
Well, I think it's a question of just getting organised behind, and when you have that 2 or 3 riders who ride quite strong, well then they're going to eat into the advantage of a lone rider out in front. And will they continue to do that? Because there's a lot of riders who are getting carried along, and they're going to start looking at the other riders. They're going to start calling the other riders, okay, come on, ride guys, you also have to ride here. But of course the quick step riders, they are going to just sit on here. Also Trek have the rider Pedersen out front, so they're not going to ride, and it looks like there is one from Trek Segafredo on the rear end of this group, and those riders are just going to get carried along. And it's going to be an interesting one. 23 seconds, it is coming down a bit, but will they be able to close it down?
Out, and when it's come back, Sean, it didn't look quite so tempting, the gap. Terpstra still with the advantage. My goodness, this is a man who's been through the trenches of which dot the landscape here. And here we are, it's 39 seconds, so the clock was in error. Sorry if we misguided you there, but we were relying on that clock that started to count down. 24 seconds margin then, it is Mads Pedersen. 41 seconds now, the Sagan group, so not working as well together as we suspected after being misguided by that clock, Sean. It looks like Terpstra still has the advantage. Well, he does. 25 seconds on Mads Pedersen, 42 to this group that are not closing the gap, despite what the clock said a few moments ago.
Yes, and 42 seconds, this is a big advantage with just 5.5 kilometers to go. Terpstra, we can see that he's just, totally in the zone. He's focused, big time pain. But you've got to, try and, just concentrate on it and just dig in deep and give it your all here. And he knows this is, the opportunity now with the over 40 seconds of advantage. He will be made aware of that, and it's always a situation. The riders who are doing the chasing, they're always looking behind, and they're thinking, well, we're carrying a lot of riders here. If we continue on doing this, they're going to attack us in the end, or they'll beat us in the sprint anyway. So always difficult for the riders to give it their 100%, and 43 seconds, it should be enough for Terpstra to go all the way.
5 kilometers from home, and Niki Terpstra, we're just looking at how smoothly he's riding. A little bit of lateral movement, but nonetheless, excuse me, an absolutely magnificent effort by him. 43 seconds, they're hanging back there. They're going to duke it out for a podium place. Will this man get absorbed? I think he might be. He's only got 14 seconds on the chasers, and they're going to be motivated for a runners-up spot here today. So they'll be taking last toots on the bottles. They'll be cast asunder before you know it. And here we are. This is Sagan saying, do what you want. You're not going to ride me to the line, I'm afraid. Sagan would rather live to fight another day than basically work for anybody else, Sean. He's been in this scenario, you have yourself, so many times. And Sagan has quite often just put his hands up and say, no, I'm not going to go.
Well, he's trying to get the other riders who need to ride, who haven't got, say, a team out in front. They have no reason not to ride here, and that's what he's trying to do, get all to contribution.
40 seconds, they're not doing it at the moment. 4.2 from home, and unless something absolutely tragic happens to this man, he's going to make it. 4 to go from home, and Niki Terpstra, who bridged over to a feisty breakaway, one of whom is still up the road. He's in no man's land. Mads Pedersen, the Danish champion of Trek Segafredo, and then the Peter Sagan group. That's the Greg Van Avermaet group. That's got so much talent within it, but they have been beaten today by a man on stellar form. Niki Terpstra. Take nothing away from Mads Pedersen, but I think he'll be caught on the approach. There's the gap. between Pedersen and the Sagan group. Sagan not going to be anyone's fool in a race like this. He knows, I think, that he can't win it, and so he certainly doesn't want to guide anyone else for a podium place. He'll sit in here. He'd rather have third than nothing, quite frankly, and let's see if that's the case. Just a shake out of the legs here by Michael Valgren sitting on the back. That's Oliver Naesen, who's been on the deck, the Belgian champion, sitting just in front of him. They're teeing themselves up for a sprint, Sean, and I think it's going to be for a podium place at best, because Niki Terpstra looks like he's going to wrap this one up and give himself an Easter present.
Yes, it looks very much the case that when they do just catch up here with Pedersen, who is just really suffering here. He's been out for a long time. We can see, he's going to be pulled back by this group, and it's going to be a fight now for the second, third place on the podium, and it's going to be an interesting final. Terpstra, of course, he finished third last year, and he was also on the podium in 2015 where he finished second behind Christoph. So he's been, there or thereabouts in this race on a number of times, and yes, looks like he's going to take the top step of podium today.
3Ks from home, the 2 next time by, then the Flamme Rouge, and then he's going to start to believe. I'm not sure he's going to get off the bike and carry it over the line like Philippe Gilbert does, but he will celebrate in his own way. I'm afraid the man who looks like a broken man right now is Mads Pedersen. Stranger things have happened. He might just pick it up, but only 19 seconds he holds over this group, including Peter Sagan, who's refused to chase on, which would essentially just damage himself and allow others to take advantage of him late on. I guess that's almost the target of the rainbow jersey. They used to say it was a curse for that very reason, Sean. You were badged up as being a threat, and everyone, I'm afraid, just attacked you, wouldn't work with you.
Well, I think when you have the rainbow jersey, of course, everybody's going to look at you, and it is a difficult one. A lot of riders, suffered when they were world champion, but Sagan, I think the form not as good as we've seen in the past. We've seen him, much more explosive on those climbs. Although today he showed a bit. He was able to get away from the other ones, but just that a bit too late, and Terpstra had too much of an advantage, and was not able to bridge it across. And that's if you're not in super form. Greg Van Avermaet also, he hasn't been as explosive as he had last year, although all the riders say, yeah, I feel good, I haven't been, performing, I haven't got the win this year, but I feel my form is good. Of course they're going to talk it up because they want to, give themselves a morale boost, but, out on the road, and today is the day when you see the ones who are really in the top shape.
Valgren goes in hot pursuit. Philippe Gilbert goes after him, and that looks like the podium that's going to be made up. Sagan's not chasing. Van Avermaet doesn't want to chase, and Van Mark decides he wants at least a top 5. He's going to drag out Van Aert. Van Aert will sit on his wheel, the cyclocross champion. But there, grinding it away, is Niki Terpstra, and he's going to bring this one home. 17 seconds, 20 seconds now, 30 seconds back to the G3 group. I'm hoping this timing is correct. If he ties up Terpstra, he could still get caught. 1,300 metres only. It's going to be very narrow. I think he's going to have to just drive it across the line, but should get there. There is the Flamme Rouge for him, Sean. It's been a supreme effort by Terpstra. Is he going to carry it? And if he does, what margin?
Well, I think he is going to carry it, and he's not going to be worried about the margin as long as he just gets over the line in that first position, and we can see there the advantage. I think it's going to be enough. And Terpstra, of course, he is looking still quite good on the bike. If you were really suffering at this point, there'd be a lot of the shoulders rocking, you'd be moving a lot of the bike, but he's sitting there and just powering that big gear along.
Yeah, doing a great job of it as well. Niki Terpstra is heading for home. He's into the hoarded sections right now, and he's going to hear the cheer of the crowd welcoming him in. What an absolutely supreme effort he put in. He bridged over to the breakaway. It started to break down behind them, as you can see. That looks like Gilbert wants to get on the podium as well. That, I'm afraid, looks like Heartbreak Hotel for Mads Pedersen. It looks like he may well get caught right at the very last. Teeing up for a run for home is Valgren, but this is Niki Terpstra from Quick Step Floors, hugging the hoardings right now. He wants to bring this one at home. Can Mads Pedersen hold on for second place with a charging Valgren just behind him? This is a remarkable effort by the Great Dane, but right now we're going to face a great Dutchman. Here he comes. Niki Pedersen is going to bring it home. 100 metres now, that's all he's got to make sure this belongs to him. Drifts to the centre of the road, which is where you celebrate most effectively. Everybody take a look at this man. He has delivered. Niki Terpstra, absolutely supreme. The first Dutchman for 32 years since Adrie van der Poel back in 1986. He has made it, and so has this man. It gives me great pleasure to say second place on the day, Mads Pedersen, absolutely superb. And who else but defending champion Philippe Gilbert wraps it up, gives themselves a present. Quick step floors it is that dominate yet again. Valgren crosses the line. Coming home, Greg Van Avermaet with Peter Sagan and the rest of that quality bunch. But there we are. The Belgian team has handed it to a Dutchman within their ranks. Quick step floors have delivered in the hands of Niki Terpstra. What about that?
Yes, what a performance, and you know, to ride and just hold off the group. And we could see there was quite a lot of action. You know, there was riders riding quite a lot together, but he still just held on there, and in the final just had enough to hold on for the big three. Pedersen also, chapeau, he's been out there for a long time, and I think he deserved to get his second place because he took it up very, very early. And Philippe Gilbert rounding off the podium. Quick step once again, the dominant team.
Wow, Demar just pushing the bike over the line there to finish in front of Alexander Kristoff, the European champion. Some great names all over the countryside here, left in the wake of this man. Great winner, Sean.
Yes, well, he's a proven rider. You know, he same situation in Paris-Roubaix, just went out there on his own and got the advantage and held on to win. And he's been doing it over the last number of weeks. He's showed that he is in excellent form, and again today producing the result.
Nonetheless, we beat Gilbert that day in Gaudin. Took the E3, indeed beat Gilbert again, and Greg Van Avermaet, Naesen and Benoot in his wake. And today he just left everybody behind. It was absolutely superb. The way he bridged to the breakaway, threaded his way through them on a climb, Sean, and then just hit out for glory.
Yes, well, if you have got that little bit of energy, that little bit more power left, that's what you can do. You just, you know, put in an attack, and then you can ride away just inch by inch, and that's what we see with Niki Terpstra. When he caught the breakaway out in front, you know, he went through them immediately. Pedersen just reacted and was at 2 bike lengths, 3 bike lengths, 4 bike lengths, and then he was hanging there, and it looked like that Pedersen might be able to just claw his way back to him, but no. Niki Terpstra just had that bit of power extra to, you know, to just pull away from him. And then, of course, the rivalry behind between the big favourites, that helped. And that is always a situation in the end of a big one. When you get that 15, 20 seconds advantage, they're going to start looking at each other.
Rayonnet there trying to get an interview for VTM, and they basically said no. He looked like he was just about to drop, actually. He was rocking on his feet, and I think they just need to give him a little bit of space. And look at the gaps here, Sean. Over 6 hours in the saddle. The winning time, 6 hours, 21 minutes and 21 seconds. What a day. As always, Flanders has delivered. A great champion.